Greetings, friends. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. I'd love to talk with you about the most important exercise secret ever. Okay, before I tell you what I think it is, we need to set the table a little bit and look at the world of exercise by peeking behind the curtain and seeing what's really there. We say the word exercise quite a bit, but I believe that a significant number of people tend to hear something different, each one of us. In other words, exercise can be a loaded word. Some people will hear the word exercise and their eyes light up because they love to exercise. It's a part of their lifestyle and it comes to them pretty naturally. Now, there's another subset of people who hear the word exercise and they immediately feel heavy. Exercise for them is a struggle. It's not something they enjoy. It's hard for them and they simply wish it wasn't necessary. Still, other people see exercise as something they should do and must do, and they're indeed able to do it, but they'd rather not. Exercise for them is a practice in not gaining weight and not being unfit and doing what the experts say we should do so we can be healthy. There's still another group of people who have a past history of bad exercise memories. A lot of people felt forced to do exercise in school at a young age, perhaps not suited for their bodies. Others had embarrassment around a lack of athletic ability and being made fun of. There's one last group of exercisers who are indeed exercising to lose weight, and no matter how much they do it and how hard they go at it, nothing shifts and they don't lose a pound. And then they go into absolute disbelief and upset because all that hard work happened for nothing. Simply put, for too many people, I think exercise has become a secret punishment for eating food, for having any amount of body fat. So, with that in mind, here's what I consider the most important exercise secret, which is move in ways that you love. In other words, if the movement or exercise you're doing doesn't feel good and doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Obviously, there's all kinds of sports and exercises that are intense. They're challenging and they often come with a bunch of pain. I'm not saying to let go of that. For many of us, we do those kinds of sports or exercise because when we sum up the entire experience, we love it and we benefit from it. I'm simply saying this. Stop exercising if you're doing it from a place of push or force or self-rejection or self-hatred and self-loathing. Stop looking at exercise as a punishment for eating or as a way to simply burn calories. Instead, in its place, find ways to move that give you pleasure. Move in ways that make you smile. Move in ways that are doable for you. Move in ways that truly make it feel good for you to be in your body and celebrate it. So if you're the kind of person that has trouble exercising, then let go of any exercise goals and take the smallest baby step that you can and do any kind of movement that you like. Researchers have identified this thing called overexercise. Far too many people operate under the assumption that more is better. And this may be true when it's true, but when it comes to exercise and movement, every single body has its natural limits. When we over-exercise, what are we doing? We move the body into a stress state, the physiologic stress response, sympathetic nervous system dominance. This yields an increased production of both cortisol and insulin, and these two hormones, when secreted in excess, signal the body to store weight, store fat, and not build muscle. So you can literally create the opposite physiological effect of what you're looking for from exercise when we artificially push ourselves past our own natural limit. Further, if you're doing exercise that you hate or that feels like a burden, that kind of experience can also create the physiologic stress response with the same unwanted chemical cascade that ends up taking us down the wrong metabolic road. So figure it out. Walk, dance, swim, ride your bicycle, do some yoga, do any kind of movement that has any sense of celebration to it. Take a walk with your dog. Find any kind of movement that makes you feel happy to have a body. That's the point, my friends. That's the greatest exercise secret. Don't use exercise to shed pounds. Use exercise to feel alive and to exercise the inborn urge to move and to feel free. From there, if the body truly has weight to lose, then trust that it'll lose it. Forget about calorie burning when you're exercising and let go of any self-judging thoughts that you might have when you move. Consider this just an experiment. In my experience, the result of this experiment is almost always a newfound sense of enjoyment and freedom. That's because you're moving for the sake of movement, and what's driving you to move is not self-hate or fighting fat or some health obligation. What's driving you is inspiration and the natural pleasure of being alive and active. So it's time to celebrate your body in whatever form of movement or exercise you choose to do. As always, my friends, I hope this was helpful.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care and remember,